Did anyone else have a grandparent who worked out in their garden with straw hats on? Every time I put on one of these hats, I think of my granddaddy. He had like a collection of straw hats. They didn't have pretty patterns on them like this, but they had like a green visor on the front of them. And I always thought they looked so goofy. And then I realized how much they help when it's really hot and sunny outside. After literally a year keeping the chickens out here, we finally moved them. They planted tomatoes. And they don't look too bad. That one's not a tomato. I don't know what it is. We're back to having free-range chickens, at least 2 of them. We couldn't catch her, so we just let him scratch up the yard. I just named him Edgar. We're gonna keep him. He's pretty chill. They just hang around the porch, but not on the porch, thank goodness. I have been neglecting this space, but it's been growing anyways. The spoon tomatoes are finally producing. I just leave them on the plant because my kids like to pick stuff, so they come out here and pick them all the time. Don't know if you can tell, but there's several plants totally dead at this point. A lot of them are dead. It's just moving up the trellis. All the rain and the heat, just a perfect storm for disease, but that's okay. I'm gonna do a second planting. I was just given a whole tray of tomatoes. This yarrow is so pretty. It looks totally different than the stuff I have growing wild on the other side of my yard. And my zinnias that I planted have finally bloomed. Looks like it's the candy stripe ones. Got some pretty yellow tomatoes. That one was totally wedged in the hole of the trellis. Gonna have to eat that right away. Still pretty color though. These little menaces right here are the bane of my existence. I'll pick tomatoes and they'll look pretty fine. You can kind of see little spots everywhere. Right here. They kind of suck the juice out of the tomatoes and then it just spreads. And if you don't use them right away, it makes them go bad pretty fast. I never thought about it until I saw a video where somebody was picking their tomatoes by the cluster. I'm pretty sure they'll last longer if you don't process them right away, if you just leave them on the vine. So these are mostly ripe and I just picked them all. A Mexican sunflower is blooming. I think that's a painted lady. So pretty. This thing is almost as tall as me. Lots of things blooming. This basil is humongous. I just saw a video where somebody cut all the flower tops off their basil plants and made some tea with it, so I think I'm about to try that. More zinnias and yarrow. And I've even got my nasturtium here Just carrying on. I don't think it is blooming anymore, but it's still there. This is what happens when I let my tomatoes get all the way ripe. Rest of it still looks okay though. Kind of. Banana peppers are still pretty happy. Ember comes out here and picks pretty much every day, so they don't get much bigger than this. They're her favorite. There's another little tiny one. And I guess these are as big as they're gonna get. I have no clue what kind of peppers they are, but they've started getting eaten. So I'll pick these today. Pretty celosia. Another nearly totally dead plant. It's even all the way up to the top. So probably gonna pull this one soon too. The grasshoppers are apparently very happy. Cleomes. It smells very strongly like Mary Jane in my garden. But I promise that's not what I'm growing. Look at the color on that one. So pretty. So vibrant. The sun is catching it. I guess because we're in the middle of the day. You can't even see the texture of the flowers because the sun's so bright on these. So pretty. I trellised my squash. Just tied it up like a tomato. I feel like it's putting out a lot more blooms now. Oh, that one looks moldy. I'm telling you, all this rain, you can't even, it won't zoom in on it, will it? There it goes. Never seen that before, but these look good. All these blooms. And it's just going across the top. This is a delicata squash. I don't know if I said that before. Rachel told me the varieties. So these are delicata squash, and we've already eaten several of these. Apparently they're good even when they're that small. I thought they were going to get bigger, but they meet the criteria for picking them. And then over here, oh, and also I have a new trellis. Because I needed one for all my tomatoes over there. These are snow leopard melons, and they are a type of honeydew. That one is literally leaking on me. I think it's ready. I was going by the little swirly, whatever you call it, tendril above the melon, and that one didn't have one, so I've just been waiting. And it's just going up on this little tomato cage on the other side of the trellis here. But I'm gonna pick that one. Got some bell peppers here, look like they're about ready, but I don't know why one side is longer than the other, but I think I'll wait for them to start changing color before I pick them because I don't need peppers right now. Over here we have beans and apparently fire ants. I just got bit. My lone cucumber plant over here. Looks like it's finally starting to set fruit. Yay! I'll see if I can trellis it up this T-post. These beans over here are blooming. There's lots of baby beans, but these will be shelling beans. Oh, look at that one. So I'll let them get full size and dry before I pick those. And over here, I think rabbits ate my green beans that I planted. I've got some that are finally starting to bloom. but most of my plants just kind of disappeared. No beans yet. Baby zinnias though. And over here we got my watermelon starting to get long. I bet it'll bloom soon. There's these tomato plants. Some of them were volunteers in my garden and some of them were volunteers in my mother-in-law's garden, but lots of yellow cherry tomatoes. My kids have been picking them every day. This hyssop is happy. So are the bees. Purple basil and celery. I know it's so grassy it's hard to see, but this celery is very happy. I didn't know it was so easy to grow. I thought it would die when it got hot. Maybe the grass is helping it. My artichoke, surprisingly, it was right here. It's gone. It just like turned black and died. I think it got some disease on it, or like fungus. But it's still pretty nice out here. The shade feels so nice. I love these trees. It's like 2 huge maples and then a dogwood. I know by the state of things it looks like it might be the middle of the day, but it's actually like 4:30. It's just hot because this is Alabama. But gonna walk around my orchard fruit area. Don't know what to call this now. Marjoram and my other lone surviving dahlia. I think it's going to be shorter than, I know it's going to be shorter than the other one, but I think maybe that variety is. I'm going to have to cage it because apparently it got mowed over already once. Peach tree's still happy even with the Japanese beetle damage. My grandmother said that's what all this laciness is. It's Japanese beetles. Some of the grapes have really put out. We got them bare roots, so they were just little sticks with roots attached. But the other 2 over here have not done anything yet, and I'm worried they might not do anything. We got them on sale, so I don't know if they'll be under warranty, but I might try anyways. Here's that salvia. So pretty. It almost looks like lavender flowers. This blueberry's still doing okay. Picked a couple blueberries off of it actually, and it looks like it's got 2 more that are ready. Still not dead, so that's good. I need to come deadhead my dahlia over here, but it's still just putting out blooms. Look at this one, it's almost totally yellow. So pretty. This thing is my favorite. Here's the sea of strawberry mint. Oh my gosh, it's covered. Well, no wonder there's no bugs on my butterfly bush. This is like, I think there's a lot of flying ants on here. I see flies and bumblebees. Anyways, if anybody near me, oh look at the size of these bumblebees. Looks like they like the catnip better. Anybody needs some strawberry mint, or apparently catnip, I've got you. And then we've got the bee balm over here as well. The flowers already stood up and then laid over. I got this plant at the Botanical Gardens, so it's supposed to be a native bee balm, which is cool. Ignore these. This is weeds. I don't remember what these are called, but I did not put them there. That grass is already starting to try to take over again. We gotta mow this area. These are doing pretty good though. There's my comfrey and my mullein. Mullein is, man, this thing is taller than me. It's apparently invasive if you don't control it. So some people will like pull off the blooms. Well, apparently you can use the blooms, but they will cut off the flower spikes after they use them. The flowers, I believe, are good for ear infections. Like you can put them in oil and then use the oil for ear infections. And then the leaves, this is the second year this plant has been here. So the first year leaves are actually better for respiratory problems. And Shelly, I don't know if you watch my videos, but this is the mullein plant that I pulled those leaves off of for you. Sorry if they're not as potent as they could be. I need to really bring out cages here. Look, the grass is taking over right here too. That's my lemon verbena. Maple, what are you doing? And this hyssop is past its prime, but the bees still like it. And over here, this had a flush of blooms and they all died. I don't know if they only bloom for a day or what, but I got a little clip of it. I'll put it in. When I passed by and saw a very beautiful bloom on it. Apparently it's a double bloom peach hibiscus, so that was exciting. And right here is actually a radish, which looks like there's several radishes in here. I broke it. It's what I had planted here last year. They have pretty flowers. Apparently, I might have lots of radishes because I recognize those leaves. I'll have to come through here and look. Here's my other yarrow. I guess it is the same. The blooms are just smaller. I'm not sure if it is here wild or if it's planted before we got here, but last year I realized what it was and I was protecting it, and then someone mowed our yard for us and mowed it all down, and I literally cried. But the patch has doubled in size, so obviously it's fine. Not a bad haul, don't you think? Just want to brag on Boss for a second. He bought me a porch swing for Mother's Day, and he spent like a whole week putting it up because it was a lot more work than we thought, because he had to take out the vinyl and cut things and add supports. But it's so nice. I spent some time yesterday cleaning out here. Brought a plant out that I thought might die anyways, so it wouldn't hurt my feelings if the squirrels dug it up. Got some citronella out here because the squirrels are ridiculous. Not the squirrels. The mosquitoes are ridiculous. Had to come back for this guy. Oh my gosh. I left it out there for a few minutes and the sugar ants found it. I didn't want it to get lost in the basket. I hope y'all have enjoyed my hopefully relatable harvest garden tour, and y'all have a blessed day.